I'm from Southeast Washington, D.C. I was born in Greater Southeast Community Hospital. I was in the city until around 9 years old, then we moved across the border to Prince George's County. I was born in 1976, so we moved to Maryland around 1985. Our parents were trying to get my sister and I away from the height of the crack epidemic in the city. So we moved across the line. So I did my schooling there, graduated from Potomac High School in Oxon Hill, Maryland. I then did a year at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and then a year at Morgan State University. And then I pretty much decided I was just gonna start working. And I wasn't a super studious teenager, young 20-something. Of course now I look back and I should have been more serious, but I actually believe matching up with my personality and the things that I like to do, I believe I pretty much ended up in the right place. I love my job. I love the industry. I like helping people. Pretty much has been my whole life. It's been a lot of customer service and retail management. And I think I've excelled at all those positions because I have a certain sense of empathy, and that leads me to try to solve people's problems the best I can. The mission of the dispensary matched up perfectly with what I wanted to do with my life. These past almost 12 months, I mean, it's almost impossible not to encounter somebody who is anxious or upset or depressed because of one of a million different things. But the pandemic has kind of heightened people's fears and anxieties about whatever they were already troubled about in the world as it was. One of the main things we talk about here is don't get frazzled when somebody's upset, you know. You never know what's going on right now. You know, their loved one may have COVID and they're in the hospital and they can't visit them. They may have lost someone whose funeral they couldn't attend. You can't solve everybody's problems. The main thing you can do is let them know that you understand, and you're going to do everything within reason and within your power to be able to help them with that problem. Here is basically matching people up with the right strains or the right concentrate, you know, whatever fits their usage, whether they smoke, they don't smoke, they do vaping, they want to eat it, tincture, those types of things. But once people understand that you're listening and you're not just letting them talk just to let them finish so you can start talking, it goes a long way. I started as a part-time employee, worked my way up to management, and just in May, I believe, May or June, I was promoted to general manager because the experience here is number one for us. We want everybody to feel like they're a part of the family, and we want everyone to feel like we work as hard and as fast and efficient as possible to get you in and out and get you about your day. I was mandated from the jump to never pay anybody minimum wage. We pay above minimum wage, period. And it's multifold. You want to have associates working for you that don't feel that stress of the cost of living in this city, which is tremendously high. And we want them to feel empowered. We want them to feel like a part of the company. I mean, we've done all kinds of things to make sure our employees are safe and feel cared for. You know, Stephanie is, I mean, she's a mom, and that comes out in every interaction with the staff and with me in general. She's always making sure we're okay. It's funny, so before pandemic, when she would be here like 3-4 days a week working with us, one day she had to explain to me why she asked me, was I okay every morning? Because after a while, I kind of looked at her like, do I look upset? And she's like, no, you know, I'm a mom. It's my mom thing. I just want to make sure all of you guys are okay. And we translate that from her, and we put that onto the patients. You know, people come in here celebrating and shouting to the roof that their cancer numbers went down, you know? And we've been following them in that journey the whole time. So when they get good news, one of the first places they come, they call their family, and then they come here to tell us, because we've made them feel like part of the family, and we feel like we're part of their family. I think that's one of the legs up we have on the other dispensaries in the city, is that we're known to be able to help with your chronic illness. A lot of people say they go to a different dispensary, and the answers to the questions can be a little bit all over the place. But we're dialed into that, and that's because one of our owners is a nurse, you know, and this place was built in the memory of her parents, Jules and Libby. Her dad had MS and her mom had cancer. She literally lived through both dynamics of chronic illness and how it leads to the passing. Her dad's doctor got to the end of the road with the treatment and was like, you know, I honestly think you should find somebody who can sell you some marijuana. I think that's probably what you're gonna need to help you with your pain. And she watched it firsthand, like her dad kind of, a pep got back in his step, you know? She saw him in a better way, healthier than she had seen him in years because of that illegal plant, you know? Then her mom got cancer, and they no longer had the access that they had to marijuana that they had with her dad. So she watched someone get a little better before the end, and then she saw someone kind of had to die in pain because they didn't have the same access. So when DC came up with when they passed the law and said we could have medical dispensaries, they put in an application and they put the building in the neighborhood her dad grew up in. So a lot of people know the story about we're owned by a rabbi and a nurse, but what they don't know is that this is her father's neighborhood, and he's half of the reason that we exist. The other half would be her mom. And if you walk around downstairs, their pictures are everywhere. So the employees are reminded every day why we're here. Our mission is to have a place that people feel comfortable coming to and talking about their illnesses, and hopefully getting the relief that they couldn't get 10 years ago, and getting it legally.